I suppose the book I'm proudest of is a book called Kneipengespräche im Kaiserreich, which is only available in German, unfortunately. It's the only book I actually wrote in German. That's one reason I'm proud of it. It's an edition of documents that I discovered nobody else had ever seen in the Hamburg State Archives, of reports by policemen, a gang or team of about 8 of them who dressed up as workers and went and listened to what the Social Democrats and sometimes the anti-Semitic parties were saying in pubs and bars in the town, and then went back and wrote up their reports. They weren't supposed to arrest anybody, but they're just supposed to tell the city government what the kind of morale or temperature of, or ideas or ideology or opinions of the workers were. It's like an early form of public opinion poll in a way. And of course, because these policemen had a jolly nice job drinking, though not too much, at the state's expense, they all wrote very long and very detailed reports. So I spent a couple of years going through these, about 20,000 of them, and selected about the 400 odd best ones, and then divided them up into 20 different chapters. And they ran from 1892 to 1914, and the ones at the end of July 1914 are particularly interesting, where they argue about whether they should go to war or shouldn't go to war. And I got a German publisher to publish them as a paperback. So I'm particularly proud of that. It's not really suitable for translation to English because the policemen wrote in a particular kind of language, which you can see in the better ones. The phrases and turns of phrase that the workers use come through, the slang and the expressions they use, and it's I think it's wonderful stuff. So I'm very proud of that. My rule in transcribing these reports, which was all handwritten in the old German handwriting, so it took some time, but all the policemen wrote in the kind of copperplate handwriting. My rule was anything less than 400 words is too short, really, to transcribe. But I made an exception for the last ones at the end of July, beginning of August 1914, where they're discussing the First World War, where you have a typical report will say, I went into so-and-so's bar and there were 3 workers there sitting and having a conversation, and one of them says, I'm not going to go to war just for the Kaiser and the capitalists. I'm not going to let myself be shot dead. And another one says, yes, you've got to do that. It's for our country. And everyone's going, you haven't got any choice anyway. I'm going to go. And they kind of argue through that. And I think it's quite a moving moment where these men, most of whom probably got killed in the war, were arguing the toss about whether it was a good thing or not. It gives a kind of fantastic window onto the way really ordinary workers, dock workers, harbour workers thought.